everyone, I'm Barclay Loggie, and in today's demo I'm going to show you how to make a little bracelet, beaded bracelet. I'm wearing it today. So this is it in a lovely sort of terracotta red for the Diamonduos, and then I've used turquoise and silver. Pop it off so that I can show it to you properly. It's not using any specific beading stitch at all. It's just a really nice make. It sits really well on the wrist and it's lovely to wear. So I'm going to show you how to do this one from start to finish. As always, when we start a new project, we'll begin by looking at all the materials we need to make this beautiful bracelet. So we're going to start with the beads. I've got 2 tubes of size 8 seed beads here. I've got light smoky pewter. I have got opaque turquoise green, and then I've got 2 lots of 11s in exactly the same colours. So I've got the light smoky pewter and the opaque turquoise green. So 2 8s, 2 11s, and then we've got these Diamonduos here. And the colour of these ones is called Terracotta Red. It's really lovely. It's not just a plain red. It's got a bit of a finish over the top of it, so you get kind of a mottled look. It's not just a bright red. And the Diamonduos, if you've not worked with them before, they definitely have 2 sides to them. So the side that I'm showing you here has got kind of a domed, rounded feel, and if I flip it over, the other side is completely flat. So when you are picking up your Diamonduos, you want to ensure that you're picking them up all the same way, so that you have them all facing one way, and on the other side I've got them all facing the flat side. So it's just something to be aware of, that there are very definitely 2 sides to your Diamonduos. Other than the beads, I've got a toggle clasp here. You might decide to bead your own clasp. I'm using a size 10 beading needle, and I'm using 6-pound FireLine, and I always have my thread zapper with me to end off threads. The very first thing you're going to do is to thread on about 2 meters of your thread onto your needle. That will be enough thread to make an average sized 7-inch bracelet. And I've picked up a random bead from my stash, which I'm going to use as a stopper bead. So I'm just going to move it all the way down towards the end of my thread. I don't need to leave a very long tail for this, because I'm going to end up back where I started, and I'll be able to add on my clasp. So you just need to leave yourself 5 to 10 centimeters, enough to tie off, and to make it a stopper bead, you pass the needle back through that bead from the bottom to the top. And now nothing is going to slide off. It's going to stop all the beads from sliding off the end of my thread. And I'm ready to start my pattern. And for this little bracelet, just to give you a heads up on how we do it, we start along the middle here, and we come all the way to the end, and then we do one top edge and the other. So I'm going to start off by picking up my middle pattern of beads, which is going to be one of my silver 11s, followed by one of my disc duos, and I've got the flat bottom flush to my mat, and I'm going through the top tip of my Diamonduo. And then in between each Diamonduo, I'm going to have a silver 11 or a smoky pewter 11, a turquoise green 8, and another smoky pewter 11. And then I'll be picking up another disc duo. So this first little 11 here is just for my outer edge, so I will end my beaded strip with a little 11. I'm picking up a Diamonduo 11 8 11 Diamonduo, and I'm going to let those drop all the way down to my stopper bead. If I pop them on the mat, you'll see them sitting there. So I'm going to continue with that pattern. 11, 8, 11, Diamonduo. 11, 8, 11, Diamonduo. Each time going through that Diamonduo the same way as I did before. So I'll pop those down to join the other beads, and you can see how my design is coming together. Now you're going to continue doing that pattern for a length that's going to fit around your wrist. So I normally bead to 7 inches. So my beaded section here is to about 6 inches because my clasp adds on another inch. So my strip along the center, I beaded to about 6 inches. And I'll come back and show you the next step. Because our pattern is so repetitive, I'm just going to do a section to show you how it all comes together. So you will have beaded a full 6 inches or 6.5 inches across the middle here, and you're ready to come around and add in the second Diamonduos. So I'm going to just pop this back up at the top here. I've added a Diamonduo, but I started, if we ignore the stopper bead, I started with an 11, so I'm going to finish my row with a little 11. Bring that all the way down my thread to the beads. And I'm now going to turn. I've been beading from left to right, and I'm now going to bead back towards my stopper bead. And I'm going to pick up an 11. And this is for the end of the second stage. I'm going to pick up another Diamonduo exactly the same way that I've been picking them up before. So I've got the flat side against the mat, and I'm going through the top hole, through the top point there. And I need another 11 on the other side. If you remember, between our Diamonduos we had an 11, a turquoise 8 and an 11. This time, to connect the 2 rows together, we're going to be using the turquoise 8s from the row before. So I'm going to just bring that down to the end, and I'm going to pass my needle through the turquoise 8 from above. Just putting my finger over it to hold it in place, and I will soon move it out the way. So you'll see that you've now got a double row of your Diamonduos. Diamonduo on the top, on the bottom, and I've come through my 8. So I'm back to a sequence of picking up an 11, a Diamonduo, and an 11. And then I'm going to pinch the 8 from the row before just to join them up together. So my beadwork is moving all over the mat, so that's coming up to there. And I'm going to pass my needle through the turquoise 8 from the row before. And this is joining the bottom row of Diamonduos to the top row, so that when they're on your wrist, they're not going to flap about. So there you can see I've got 2 joined. Now you're going to do exactly the same the whole way across. So if you need to watch it again, just rewind a little. But I'm going to be now picking up an 11, a Diamonduo and an 11, and I'm going to be popping through the next turquoise 8. I'm almost back to the beginning now. I've got my last Diamonduo to end. You can see my thread is exiting from the turquoise 8. So I'm going to pick up an 11, a Diamonduo, and an 11. I don't have another turquoise 8 to pass through, so I'm just bringing these beads down to join the others. And I'm at this stage going to slide my stopper bead off the end of my work. And I'm going to tie my tail thread to my working thread with a regular knot to begin with. And then to make it secure, I go through the loop once, through the loop twice, and that is called a surgeon's knot. So I have tied my little tail thread off, and I'm now going to just pass the needle through that 11 on the top row, just before the Diamonduo. So I'm ready to do some work along the top edge. I'm going to have it this way now for you, so that hopefully I won't have to move it around too much. So if I pop this one quickly back into shot, we've just come through the top here and we're about to decorate the top edge on this right hand side. So to get up there, I need to get to this top hole of the Diamonduo. So I'm going to pick up 4 of my silver colored 11s, and I'm going to pass the needle through that empty hole of the Diamonduo, and you'll see how those just form a nice neat little edge around the top of my Diamonduo. I am now exiting that top hole, so I'm now going to do a little top edge for the Diamonduo, and it's going to consist of a turquoise 11, a silver 8 and a turquoise 11, just the 3 beads, and I'm going to pass the needle back through that same hole up at the top. And you'll see how it makes a neat little pointed tip on the top of my Diamonduo. I've now got to bridge the gap between my 2 Diamonduos, and I'm going to do that with 2 silver 11s and just come through the next one. And I need to do this top edge again, so that was a turquoise 11, silver colored 8 and a turquoise 11 before passing the needle back through the same hole to give me that little picot top to the top of my beadwork. I've got to bridge the gap across to the next Diamonduo, and that was with 2 silver 11s. So you can see something that looked quite complicated, when you break it down and you see how it happens, it's actually quite simple. So I'm now going to repeat that all the way to the end, and then I'll show you how to turn the corner. If you remember, when we came around the top, we created this nice little edging to the outside of the Diamonduo. We're going to do exactly the same on this bottom edge. So I'm picking up 4 of my silver colored 11s, and I'm going to pass my needle down through the size 11 that's just sitting below my last Diamonduo. And you can see my 2 ends are matching now. And before I pick up anything else, I'm going to pass my needle up through the little 11 that's sitting on the side of the Diamonduo of the other row. I'm going to flip it around so that you can see, and again I'm going to create that little edge on the top there with my 4 size 11s. And I'm going to come through that top hole of the Diamonduo. And you can see how it's just it's a neat finishing off to your design. I'm going to do the top picot on this side, and that was with a turquoise 11, a silver 8 and a turquoise 11 back through that top hole. But before I continue, I'm now going to add on this end of my toggle clasp, because I've got the thread that side and I'm going to finish back where I started. So while I'm down that end, it will save me adding on an extra piece of thread, and therefore my work will be far more secure. So I've just got to toggle clasp out quickly. I'm exiting from my Diamonduo. I'm going to pass back through the little 11 turquoise and the 8. try and not get too knotted around all the beads. And I want to be exiting this little turquoise on the other side, so I'm coming down through that one as well. Let's just get my thread a bit looser. There we go. So I've got my little picot edge, and it's on this end that I'm going to add one end of my toggle. And as I always say, there are no rules to this, but I'm going to pick up 9 of my size 11s. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let those come down. I'm going to go through one end of my toggle clasp, and I'm going to come back down through the 2 11s that are closest to that bar of my toggle. And I'm going to pull my needle through. And as I pull it up tight, you'll see how it just pulls everything in. And I now need 7 to come down the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of my 11s. And I'm going to come through the turquoise before passing through the 8 on the other side. When I pull that through, you'll see how it's quite a neat finish on the end. So I need to come through the little turquoise bead on the other side of the 8. And then I can pass back through the top hole of my Diamonduo. And I can reinforce things by just passing back up through the 7 11s on the side I've just added. This means that, well, your attachment, your fastening, your clasp, whether you're using a toggle or you're using a beaded clasp, is going to get the most wear and tear. So by going back through, following the beads, by going back through all those beads, you're just adding an extra layer of thread which tightens it all, and it's more secure. That way, if one thread gives way, you've got another one there to hold things in place. So I've come through my toggle. I need to come back down through these 2, and then through the 7 on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And make sure that you are going through the beads and you're not skipping on the underneath, because if you do skip a bead, you will see thread rather than bead. Having reinforced your clasp and you've come back down through those last 7 seed beads, we're going to pass the needle through that top hole of the Diamonduo. And we're ready to continue with embellishing down this side of our design. So we need to bridge the gap between the 2 Diamonduos with 2 11s. And then we're ready to do the little picot edge. So that was with a turquoise 11, a silver 8, and another turquoise 11, and back through that same hole of the Diamonduo. And you're going to continue joining these Diamonduos together all the way down to the other end. I'm almost ready to attach the other half of my toggle clasp. I've just added my last picot on this end Diamonduo here, and I just need to finish off the edge. So I'm going to be picking up, I'm just moving that tail out of the way, which you could have zapped away by now because you've tied it off securely. I'm picking up my 4 silver 11s to complete this bottom edge here. And I'm going to pass down through the 11 that is closest to the Diamonduo there. And now to attach this end of my toggle, I need my thread on my needle to be exiting one of the turquoise beads on the side. So I'm just going to thread up or pass my needle up through these silver beads that edge the Diamonduo on the other row. Making sure I pass through the beads and don't leave any gaps. And at this stage I'm going to actually pass through the top hole of the Diamonduo because I need to be exiting outwards to add my clasp. And now it's very simple for me to just pass through those 3 little beads that formed the picot edge. So it's the turquoise, the silver and the turquoise on the other side. And now I'm ready to add on this part of my toggle exactly the same way as I did that side. So that was picking up my 9 of my 11s, passing through the loop of my toggle, back through the first 2 and 7 for the other side. And then you come all the way through your beadwork. Just as we reinforced this end, it's equally important to reinforce the other end of our toggle. And you will then be complete. You'll have your lovely bracelet ready to wear. So thank you so much for watching and for beading along with me if you've been beading as you go. If you've enjoyed the tutorial, please won't you just hit the little bell button. It doesn't cost a penny, but it means that the next time I load up new content, you won't miss out. You'll get a little reminder to say that there's something new for you to see. If you have any questions, as always, pop them in the comments below and I'll answer them as quickly as I can and as best as I can. So until next time, thanks so much for watching. Bye.